In a clinical trial conducted in Finland, researchers studied hundreds of patients suffering from torn rotator cuffs. These individuals were divided into two distinct groups to test the necessity of surgical intervention. The first group received standard corrective surgery. The second group, the control, was put under anesthesia and led to believe they were being operated on, but the surgeons performed no actual repairs. This chart displays the outcomes 6 months later. Whether the patient received a physical repair or simply believed they had, the results were nearly the same. Both groups reported identical improvements in mobility and the same significant reduction in pain. This is the placebo effect in its most literal form. It's not just positive thinking, it is the brain sending specific physiological instructions to the body. When the mind is convinced of a certain reality, the nervous system recruits the biological resources necessary to make that reality a physical fact. If a person's internal conviction can force a torn muscle to heal without external help, it raises a question about the limits of that power. Consider what happens when that same biological mechanism is pointed away from a shoulder joint and toward a specific goal in the outside world. Most people operate under a psychological program that constantly asks, "Why am I here?" It is a persistent need to find a specific, individual purpose. But that drive is usually countered by a second, more powerful program, the fear of wasted potential. It is the anxiety that you will look back from the end of your life and realize the person you were meant to become never actually appeared. The friction between these two drives often creates a cycle of seeking. People spend their careers waiting for a sign or hoping to stumble onto a calling, essentially remaining in a holding pattern while they wait for permission to begin. This state of perpetual searching triggers a specific neurological response. Because the brain perceives this lack of direction as a threat to your future, it keeps the nervous system in a reactive survival mode. Your body is flooded with the signals of scarcity and doubt. Paradoxically, as long as the body is stuck in this physiological state of survival, it lacks the cognitive resources required to actually execute a higher purpose. The very act of searching for your mission is what prevents you from starting it. History is full of outliers who managed to bypass this biological survival mode. Long before John D. Rockefeller became the wealthiest man in the modern world, he operated with a level of certainty that his peers found incomprehensible. When he was a kerosene distributor, he didn't just see a business opportunity. He held a conviction that he was divinely ordained to bring light to the world. That belief served as a functional driver, allowing him to take risks that others viewed as financial suicide. This same pattern appears in the story of David and Goliath. A young shepherd walks onto a battlefield to face a giant that trained, professional soldiers were too terrified to engage. David's advantage wasn't physical strength or superior weaponry. He simply had the absolute conviction that he was executing a specific assignment. In his mind, the outcome was already settled because he was acting on behalf of a higher power.
Figures like these share a core psychological trait. They operate from a place of assignment. They don't wait for proof that they can win. They act with the certainty that their success is a requirement of their mission. This state is what we call divine certainty. As this chart shows, the belief that you are ordained functions as a new input for the nervous system. It restabilizes the body by overriding those existing survival pathways. The brain shifts from a defensive, reactive posture into a command state where focus and resources are fully integrated. When the nervous system stops broadcasting fear, your behavior changes. You stop negotiating with your obstacles and start making decisive moves. You speak with more authority and act with more speed, and as a result, the world around you begins to respond differently to your presence. From a neurological standpoint, the objective existence of a higher power is secondary to the utility of the belief. If the mind believes it is supernaturally backed, it recruits the same biological power that healed those patients in the Finland study. This belief acts as a biological catalyst. It moves you from being a person who is reacting to circumstances to a person whose actions are so coordinated and certain that reality has no choice but to adjust to them. But if you are truly operating on a divine assignment, it would seem logical for your path to be easy. Instead, your life might currently be defined by chaos or repeated setbacks. Many people reach a point of extreme hardship and conclude that they have been abandoned or that their mission was a delusion. In reality, these obstacles are the necessary data points. They are the resistance training required to build the specific skills and the psychological resilience needed to fulfill your role. Recall that before David ever reached the battlefield, he spent years in the wilderness fighting lions and bears. Those weren't setbacks. They were the exact training sessions that prepared him to face a giant with nothing but a sling and a stone. Your current challenges are not evidence of failure. They are the indicators that a larger mission is being orchestrated, and you are currently being forged into the person capable of handling it. The orientation shifts when a seeker stops looking for an assignment and begins operating as if they have already been sent. When the physical nervous system is fully aligned with the conviction that you are here for a reason, your actions take on a level of precision that makes the desired outcome a simple matter of execution. For entrepreneurs and leaders, this isn't just a philosophical shift, it is the foundation for real-world results. If you are trying to scale a business while your nervous system is stuck in survival mode, you will always be fighting your own physiology. Sustained growth and operational scale are byproducts of this neurological rewiring. When you move with the certainty of a mission, you make better decisions, you move faster, and you command the attention of the market. If you are ready to stop wandering and start executing with this level of clarity, we have the frameworks to help you transition. Click the link provided to access our business coaching methodologies and begin converting this internal shift into measurable external success.